welcome to this course, Influencing Employee Behaviour using the ABC approach. I'm Trevor Strother from Safety Leadership Development, your course facilitator. About 15 years ago, I was engaged by a client to support the development of their work culture on an offshore drilling rig. Now, the rig was drilling for oil in a country that was recovering from many years of difficult times, and their people were striving to rebuild their lives to support their families. My client had just contracted this rig after it had been working for another operator, and one of the processes the previous operator had was a reward scheme for the best safety improvement observation for the month, and my client agreed to continue with that scheme. They were assured that the scheme was strongly supported by the local crew. Now, the previous operator provided a financial reward for the best observation of the month of $20. For some of you, that may not seem like much, but in the circumstances in this country, it was a significant amount. Now, my client, whilst agreeing to keep the scheme, decided instead to provide either a baseball cap, a coffee mug, or a polo shirt, all of course with the client's name emblazoned across them. After a couple of months, my client was concerned that the previous operator had not been entirely truthful about the scheme support, as the numbers of observations never reached the numbers the previous operator said that they were attaining, despite it being highly promoted and there being punishments in place, like waking people from their sleep to report their observations from the shift that they'd just completed. So what do you think might have been the problem? Perhaps they were too busy, loss of interest, safety had improved and there was no more improvements to be found? Well, what we actually found out was that the baseball cap and the coffee mug and the polo shirt were actually of no value to the crew, and therefore did not influence their performance at all and their willingness to participate in the scheme. However, the $20 on the other hand, in the circumstances, was of value, and therefore it actually influenced behaviour. Now, the C in the ABC approach relates to consequences, and there are several principles about applying consequences that you will learn and be able to apply after completing this course. One of the principles is that for consequences to be effective in influencing behaviour, they need to be of some value to the person or to the people whose behaviour you are trying to influence. Now, I'm not saying that the quality of the observations made was high, or that the actual incidents even occurred. But that's another consequence principle you will learn about in this course. Now, I've worked at all levels of management, including executive management, and for the past 20 years been working globally focusing on the safety leadership and safety culture development, primarily in heavy industries such as oil and gas exploration. And I've been training managers in this technique during that time, and have seen firsthand the changes that can be achieved through its practice. As in my opening story, I'll share with you some of my experiences and the experiences of others to demonstrate how this technique works and to help bring it to life. Just as an aside, have you ever thought about the fact that what is an influencer of behaviour in one culture may not be an influencer of behaviour in another culture? And sometimes you think that you've been providing your employee with a punishment when you're actually rewarding and encouraging their behaviour. I've also included some tips and practices that may help you implement this technique at work and also at home, as this technique can be applied anywhere you need to influence people. This course, using the ABC approach to influence employee behaviour, could have been called Influencing Employee Behaviour as simple as ABC. However, as you'll learn through this course, it does take some practice to develop the techniques required, but once learned, it will make a significant difference to having your team perform and achieve the work results you need. This means that they are seen as being productive and therefore effective. And as your team are achieving what you expect them to do, you are likely to enjoy your work more, achieve more with less frustration about what your people are doing. You'll see your employees grow both professionally and personally, so they too will be able to achieve their career aspirations. So thank you for taking the time to preview this course. The ABC technique for influencing people is a really useful technique to learn and use, and I encourage you to take this course. To enrol, use the links provided below. If you're still undecided, open up the course and try some of the free preview lectures that are there. If you want to know more about the course before enrolling or the topic or other courses I'm developing, please email me using the addresses provided. I've also included my website and Facebook pages for further information about what we do. I do hope that you'll enrol in this course, and I look forward to meeting you and helping you in your professional development.